out there and do the show. All right. Hello. I promised you an outdoor balcony show where I sit at the balcony and look outside and just kind of talk about whatever comes to mind. Don't ramble. Oh, I'm not going to ramble. I'm just going to tell them that I had an epiphany. Epiphany? Yeah, I had an epiphany. I didn't know you were pregnant. Silly. Epiphany is a revelation, a sudden understanding of something. And I had one. So you had an understanding of something for a change, eh? Well, I was under the understanding you're going to talk about the college football. Well, I'm getting to that. Get to it. But I had an epiphany. What? I didn't know you were pregnant. No. A revelation came to me, an epiphany, an eureka moment. An eureka moment. Eureka? I didn't know we went to Eureka. Are we hitting the Northwest now? No, Eureka, like I found it. Have you forgotten what Eureka means? Oh my goodness, we're in trouble. No, forget these guys. I did have an epiphany. I was sitting here getting ready to do the show, sitting out here, great outside, just testing to see if it would sound right. Not even really a show, like sometimes he might publish these things, but it's basically not. This is practice. I sit out here and get comfortable, and this guy and this guy tell me what to say sometimes. Now, actually, I wish I did have two spares. But we all have something over our shoulder. Everybody's brain thinks a little different. For example, the epiphany. I didn't know he was pregnant. I think he wore that joke out. Epiphany? Get to the point. Is he a receiver for Penn State or what? No, Epiphany doesn't play for Penn State, I assure you. But I had an epiphany, but, you know, along the way, I can reveal it to you, I guess. Okay, I'll tell you more about the epiphany as we go along. I promise. I promised them to sit in this chair and give you good, whatever, 7 to 8 minute chit chat. You got 10 minutes to spare? Well, I already wasted too much of it. I had an epiphany, and I used that epiphany to come up with something that you don't know probably, because you didn't have the epiphany, and I did. And I'll tell you about my epiphany, I promise. I will tell you. I'm telling you right now about that epiphany. You boil anything down to the least variables, easier is easier than complicated. Simple. So we decided to keep it simple about the events in college football. We realized there's only two things going on. See? Simple. You watch Josh Pate talk about Nico Iamaleava. How do you say his name? We should make a song for that. And it was Nico Iamaleava. Nico was Mama's favorite boy. Surely somebody can give us a Nico song. We need something, folks. It's dreary out here in April. Nobody wants to talk about football. They don't want to talk about anything else. Goes back to the epiphany. Keep it simple. Nico is noise because he represents the levers moving, which is good news. We discovered another epiphany that came from this epiphany, and I'll give you that epiphany in just a minute. And yes, I already knew this years ago. It's not a new fact for me. But this fact, along with my epiphany, you're bound to at least learn something by listening. And if you don't, you didn't listen. Because I had an epiphany, and I am going to share it with you. I am, because I already just about have. But if it's that simple, if anything could be condensed to 2 points, possibly polar points, that's certainly logical. And the most simple way to do something is that everything, any one thing, has an opposite, which makes it have 2. So the 2 opposites plus the thing is a 3. 3-dimensional world. You getting the picture? How we thinking now? But there's only 2 matters to a point. That's a theory. That anything can be broken down to 2 main points. Type in the comments something that you can think of that can't be condensed to 2 points, usually opposite. Think of it and tell me what it is, because I just said it, there ain't none. And you can make me wrong. And you can ruin an epiphany. Go ahead and try. Yeah, go ahead and try. But anyway, there's 2 things. Nico is, anybody that does a show and focuses on Nico and Iamaleava and this contract or this recruiting guy or Herbie Smart got this guy, any of that news is clutter. Clutter. And I'm going to tell you why. Goes back to the other epiphany. Go ahead and tell you that now. I researched this so thoroughly that you don't really have to. But if somebody can prove me wrong on this, definitely type it in. And I'll make sure, just type, if you can prove this wrong, you'll be famous. And that's enough of a reward. You'll be famous if you can prove this number wrong. And that number is that all sports, since 1850-ish, any professional sport, all professional sports, anybody that's had a sport team, and the theory of, fans collecting money, a pro sport organization, a relatively recent development in modern times. They've all kept their player personnel costs, at a very exact percentage for 150 years. It has seldom varied, but never varied in like an annual expenditure, which means no owner, no player ever contracted a deal that put that team payroll at above or below, usually, but never above this number. It's like the emerald stone of payroll costs. And it tells you a lot about sports. So will college football be any different? Will they stick to this carved in stone payroll percent? No, they won't. The only problem now is, how are you going to figure out how they count the money? Because the salary cap was the big revelation that gave us something to work with. Now we have something, and the salary cap has an opposite, which is chaos. Stands to reason that salary cap will win, because chaos is not a good choice when there is some stability instead. Salary cap has happened. So now you see how it's working. Nico is irrelevant. The price of quarterbacks, all these prices of players will be set over the next 2 years. It'll take 2 years to have any stability like we had before, but that is going to happen again. Or the sport will morph into a death spiral, but it still would have happened if it didn't die.